Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening if you're watching this on the replay. If you can hashtag replay for me, I'd really appreciate it. Today we are going to be talking about consistency, okay? And so let's do a little recap of some of the things that we talked about the last couple of weeks, okay? So we started off and we talked about creating a system or a routine for planning for parties or get-togethers, social gatherings, things like that, where there was going to be food involved and things that you could do to help yourself stay on plan for your goals by making a plan before you head out, okay? So if you missed that one, that was the first Wednesday in June, and there's some really great tips that you could use throughout the year if you happen to be going to a gathering where there's going to be food. This is a great live for you. Then last week we went into motivation versus dedication, okay? And so we talked a little bit about motivation being more of a feeling and dedication being more planned, organized, predetermined. And so even when we don't feel like doing something, we need to be dedicated to ourselves to get it done, to create the routines and the systems. We talked about potentially habit stacking. Good morning, Wendy. We talked about dedication in regards to setting yourself up for success. So with that, we talked about, are you putting your workout clothes on? Are you putting them in like a pile in the morning to be able to know that you're setting yourself up for success in the morning? Are you associating a routine or a habit that you want to start with something that you've already done? Like I use the example of coffee. If I wanted to get something done in the morning, it better be after my coffee because I know I'll always have coffee. And so with that, we talked about just the difference between motivation and dedication, and knowing that even though we might not feel like doing something, we need to be dedicated to do it, okay? And so this that we're talking about today kind of goes hand in hand with this, okay? And so that's why I wanted to do a little recap for you, so that way you could see how I'm progressing and not just total randomness, which you guys are probably thinking that this is going in a series of. So why can't I be consistent, okay? And so let's say you have these systems, you create these systems, you're doing great, you get a week underneath your belt, maybe you get 2 weeks underneath your belt, and then it just is crazy. Like life's a mess, right? When all the stars align and everything works out perfectly, you can do it and you can keep everything going, okay? And so I talk about this a lot with some of my clients, and we talk about juggling balls, okay? So think about everything that you do in a day as a ball that you carry around, okay? And you're constantly juggling these balls. Good morning, Christina. You're constantly balancing everything, okay? And so it's meal prepping, and it's driving people here and there, and it's making sure that everybody's got lunches and everybody's dressed, and the laundry had to be done to be able to even get them dressed. Did they even have toothpaste to brush their teeth today? Oh wait, that's you in the grocery store too, right? Okay? And so you're balancing everything and you're juggling everything, and you have so many balls that eventually I miss one and they all come tumbling down. I mean, please tell me if I'm not alone on that. Like you do good and you balance everything and everything's going great, but it's like one hiccup comes and you're like, oh, there went everything, right? So if that is you, like sometimes that is me, I will say that it's not that you can't do it. It's that maybe you're trying to do too much, okay? And so I know us as individuals that are driven and dedicated. You telling me that I'm doing too much? That's not realistic for me to be able to listen and hear, right? I can do it. I can do it all. I can do all of the things. Good morning, Carol. And so it becomes very difficult for me to step back and say, wait, you're saying that I'm doing too much? You mean I actually need to not do as much? This is what I've always done, right? So I encourage you to look at the things that are going on and seeing if this is the case. Are we just trying to juggle too much? Also, our hands get tired, right? So we're juggling and we're juggling and we're juggling. Do we ever take a time to take these balls and put them down and just sit here and rest? So I know for me, this has been something that allows me to not have burnout, is to make sure that I can have something that is here for me to be able to rejuvenate myself with. And so I know a lot of times we talk about self-care, we talk about making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because a lot of times we take care of everybody else, but then when it comes to us, we've kind of already, emptied out our glass. We've already filled that up for everybody else, and there's nothing really left to give for us. And so if you're struggling with consistency too, it might be that you're just not giving yourself any rest. Okay, so no one is an Energizer bunny. No one can go all day, every day, all the time and not drop the balls. Okay, we all need rest. And so if you're not scheduling rest, then I would say that this is another reason why potentially you are not being able to be consistent with your goals. Okay, you're not being able to consistently do them because it's not realistic that you can do everything all of the time. Right? Okay. So an example for this would be, I know I go back to like meal prepping a lot because that's kind of my jam. But I do not meal prep every single week. Okay. I will tell you right now, it becomes very daunting, and as much as I enjoy it, it does bring me a capacity of stress. I need it because it's going to help me throughout the rest of the week. But what I always do is when I meal prep enough for the week, right? But there's always extra. So at the end of the week, I end up having these extras. And so I take those and I put them in the freezer. Okay, so I'm not gonna let them go bad, because after a week, I'm done eating that. I don't want to eat it anymore, but I'm not gonna waste it. I'm just gonna stick it in the freezer. I'm gonna label it out. And every, I would say 4 to 5 weeks, I just pull from the freezer. This is a great time if you're gonna be, out of town, if you're not gonna be able to fit it in. If the grocery store happened to not happen this week, I've had some of those too. But this is an opportunity for you to rest, for you to take care of you and not feel like you have to do it all the time. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you about was boundaries. And I feel like the word boundaries is like budget, right? Everybody's like, no, don't talk to me about budget. I don't want to talk about that. That's so awful. And boundaries, I think a lot of times has a negative connotation as well. Okay. So when we talk about boundaries are not here to push or punish others into, isolation of yourself. Okay. So I want you to kind of think of boundaries as fences. Okay. So they let the bad out. Good morning, Jessica. And they let the good in. Okay. And so I'm going to do a little demonstration here about boundaries, because I think a lot of times if we can just change our perception of what the word entails, maybe we can have that like lightning bolt of like, oh, it is okay. It is okay to have this boundary. Okay. And so I have my lovely salad bowl here. So I don't know about you, but like my salad bowl is huge because I need a whole bunch of salad. Okay. And so in my salad, I have some lovely lettuce here. Yes, I am using all of my lovely food products for my boys. So I have my lettuce here. Okay, we need lettuce as a salad. This is always a good base, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna put in some mushrooms because I like mushrooms. They're good, right? They're a good source of vitamin D. And I have an egg. I'm gonna slice this. Oh, magic! It's sliced and it went into my lovely little salad bowl here. And then I'm gonna add in some tomatoes because I think that those are yummy as well. And then I'm gonna add in a chocolate cupcake. Oh, wait, no. I'm not gonna add in a chocolate cupcake because the chocolate cupcake, I don't think it's gonna go really well with my salad. And the chocolate cupcake isn't gonna really get me to my goals, okay? So I'm gonna choose to skip that. I'm gonna put my lid on my salad, okay? And I don't want that to go in there. And that's okay, okay? I also want, maybe some chicken. So like my lovely little egg here, I'm gonna presto changeo magic and slice that chicken, and it's now in my bowl. Okay, and then also I have some pizza. I'm gonna put some pizza in here. Oh, wait, no. The pizza's kind of like the cupcake, right? It's not gonna really get me to where I wanna go. And as much as I think it might go well with my salad, I'm gonna choose my goals instead. I'm gonna put me first, and I'm gonna choose not to put the pizza in. Okay? So, I think that this salad is pretty well rounded. I like it, right? I'm gonna put the lid on it. I'm gonna say, she's done. Okay? So, I want you to think about boundaries like salad. So, it's not that you are saying that you don't want to help people, that you enjoy saying no, that you feel like you aren't getting to where you want to go. And so because of that, we're going to have a boundary, okay? So boundaries are just like a lid, okay? I want you to think about every time that someone asks you, for more, is this going to be beneficial to me? Is this going to be great on my salad? Okay? And if the answer is no, that's okay. I think so many times when we have people that ask us, can we do this? Can we help? Can we do more? Could you do this? Our answer is usually yes, because we feel guilty to say no. And saying no is a good boundary to have. You don't have to always say yes. If we say yes to everything, then when do we have the ability to take care of ourselves, right? So I want you to know that it is okay to set those boundaries, and it is okay to say no every once in a while. There's a difference between saying no because you feel compelled to say no, and saying no because you are angry or upset. The opposite is also true when we talk about yes. So are we saying yes because we feel guilty and we feel like we have to say yes? Or are we saying yes because we feel compelled to say yes? So know that people don't know your boundaries, okay? And so if someone asks you something and they don't know that your plate is already full, that you have too many balls juggling, and you say yes, you can't resent that person for you saying yes, okay? So let them know, I can't. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Now is just not a good time for me to, establish that commitment. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to help you with that right now, but life is just really crazy. Could you ask me again later? I might be able to squeeze that into my schedule at a different time, but right now I am full. And so knowing these things are allowing you to be able to have more consistency on the things that you feel are a priority to you. So that is the end of that rant. But I will say some of the boundaries that I have set aren't specific to a person, but are to a lifestyle that I want to create. And so I'm going to give you a couple examples of those, because I think a lot of times when we talk about boundaries, we feel like it has to be for a specific person, right? And it's not. Sometimes it's just boundaries for you to have that self-care that you need. And so, for example, my phone goes on silent after 7. All of my clients know this. My friends know this. That's just kind of what happens. And from that, I don't feel like I have to always be on high alert. I feel like after 7, I can decompress, I can focus on my family, and I can have a relaxing evening that I don't feel like I have to always respond back. Okay? Also, I don't wear my watch on Sundays. So Sundays are my Sabbath, and Sundays are my day of rest. And for me, rest means that I don't feel like I have to constantly be tethered to respond back to different things that are happening on my electronic devices, okay? So it doesn't mean that I don't look at my phone all day. It doesn't mean that I'm not still answering things and questions and all of those lovelies that kind of come in, but I'm not having the constant zzz, zzz on my wrist that's telling me someone needs you. someone is asking something, someone wants something from you. I can put that away and know that I can focus on my family that day. And so maybe these aren't realistic boundaries for you, and that's okay too. Don't feel like the boundaries that you set for yourself have to be something that are comparable to other people's boundaries. These are yours, and it is okay for you to have them and to not feel guilty about them. So that is what I wanted to say today. I hope that that blesses and encourages you in some shape, form, or fashion. If this is a topic that interests you, if this is a topic that you feel like, hey, that really speaks to my heart, and I know that I have an issue with boundaries, and that I am that yes woman. I am that person that's always like, I can do that. Yes, let's do it. Oh, bring it on. Because you want to be involved, and you want to have, the social aspects of saying yes, right? I am starting this lovely book called Boundaries in my group coaching on next week. And so if this is something that you feel like you could benefit from, there is still time for you to join. I will put in the link below in regards to joining that community. We have daily educational posts. We have weekly lives, and we're going to be taking 5 weeks to go through the book. So it's going to be nice and slow and steady. We're going to be having 3 to 4 chapters every week. So something that is completely manageable, because I know if I can't read more than 3 to 4 chapters a week, it's just not going to happen with how busy it is for me. And so if this is something that interests you, I know right now being summer, it's one of those things that everybody's like, oh, we're good. This is fine. It's relaxing. The kids aren't in sports right now. But I will tell you, fall is coming, and the crazy chaos is going to happen again. It always happens at the beginning of the year when we start all of the things again. So if you are relaxed and calm now, I say, wonderful. What are you doing? What systems have you created to allow that peace to come in? But also, what have you thought about moving forward as August is approaching and school is starting again and all of the things are going to start ramping up again? Do you have your boundaries set? Do you have the things that you know are going to keep you sane, that are going to keep the people that you love and that are dear to you happy and well cared for? So if that is something that you would like encouragement or support with, reach out, let me know. We would love to have you in the group, but more so than anything, we would love for you to be consistent. So with that, recap, do you have time to rest? Because we can't always juggle everything at the same time. And then 2, do you have your boundaries set in place to let the bad out of the gates and let the good into the gates? Remember our salad, and don't feel bad to close the lid. If you don't want it in your salad, it's okay. It's your salad. It's yours. Make it how you want it to make it, okay? And put in it what you know is going to be the best for you and your body. So have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone, and I will see you back next Wednesday.